Hi all, I have another fascinating odds game to show you. Rook odds, but this time it's not Paul Morphy, it's a player called Kolisch. So Kolisch is playing against Mandolfo. Who is Kolisch? Kolisch, Ignaz Baron von Kolisch, was born in 1837 in Pressburg, which is now Bratislava, in now what is Slovakia. So between 1859 and 1867, he was one of the top 5 or 6 players in the world. He actually challenged Morphy, but by the time he challenged Morphy in 1863, that was like 4 years after this, Morphy had retired and declined to play. But the Paris tournament of 1867 was not only the high point of his career, but it was also his last. He finished clear first, ahead of Winnower and Steinitz, and now retired from active play. He opened a bank account in Vienna in 1871, and within 10 years became a very wealthy guy, and he continued to support chess by financing the great tournaments of Baden-Baden 1870, Vienna 1873, Paris 1878, Vienna 1882, and London 1883. So very, very interesting character. Let's have a look. E4, E5. We have bishop C4, knight F6, knight C3, C6, D3, B5, bishop B3, A5. So trying to trap the bishop. White addresses that, but the knight's a little bit silly. Perhaps you could argue on A2, D5, E takes, C takes, knight F3, knight C6, queen E2. Now this knight's pinned. White castles. Bishop C5. We have now bishop G5, H6, H3. You might wonder, and yeah, probably good question if you do wonder this, that probably bishop takes is simple and strong, just to win the pawn on D5 there. That is simple and strong, just to take on F6. But white played H3, and we have now H5. Can the fishing pole, a rook and bishop down, save black here in any way whatsoever? Don't underestimate the power of the fishing pole. But white did take this. Takes. And now knight takes E5, so wanting to grab even more material, and it seems totally smashing, right? But there is a tempo black gets with knight D4, and it's a little bit annoying actually. If queen E3, for example, I believe there's knight F3, and we'll check this. There's knight F3 here, and even though there's knight F3, black, because he's sacrificed already rook and bishop, white could take this and be, many pieces for the queen. Best is probably to keep the pin there and do this, and white is clearly better. So okay, so queen E3 is actually possible. The best move may be either queen E3 or queen D2, but, and you might find this astonishing, queen E1, and yeah, Angin's Stockfish depth 22 doesn't see anything wrong until you pass that depth with white's position. And that, my friends, is the beauty of chess, because this game was played in 1859. Kolisch played a move here of great depth, of great tactical depth, which is actually technically winning after queen E1. It's astonishing, but it is technically winning in all variations. It doesn't matter what white does after this next move. This is the power of the fishing pole. The fishing pole, when we have this rook blasting down the H file, it's very, very dangerous to have this. But why in this particular position? The knight's pinned, right? What does black play here, which is absolutely crushing. So I'll give you 5 seconds to pause the video and start analysing for yourself. What would you play with black in this position? Yes, this does tickle me. This game, this analysis, this rook down odds game, it does tickle me. Black plays knight e4. I hope it tickles you as well. Knight e4. It doesn't matter what white does here. He's totally busted. All variations. White is totally gone. Yeah, it wasn't an absolute pin, it was a relative pin. So with relative pins, you've always got to factor in the resource that you can break the pin, sometimes with advantage. Golden lesson there. 94 seems to be a crazy move, right? So bishop takes d8. What does black play here? In fact, there's 2 moves with equal strength in this position which just wipe out white by force. Forced checkmate. Forced checkmate. In 4. Can you see a forced checkmate in 4? There's 2 ways of achieving a forced checkmate in 4 here. One of the 2 ways was chosen. This is one of the ways, knight g3. The staggering thing is, this is done with the king in the centre. The discovered checks don't help white, because the knights are conspiring on e2 as well. So knight c6 was played, knight de2 check. So this is check, but then check, and the king's got no escape, and it's checkmate. But give yourself points for knight e2 check as well. This is even more visually stunning, just in some respects. Where this position, what does white do? If the queen takes, we have rook h1 checkmate. So the queen might be controlling e2, but the knight helps the rook. You might think, well, hold on a sec. This cannot be happening after knight e4. It can be. It can be. This is losing for white. Even here, there's a moment, a flicker in engine view that bishop d5 helps. Doesn't help. Black has a move here. It looks as though f7 is vulnerable. That might lead to something, right? What does black play in this position? If I give you 5 seconds. King in the centre, f7 soft spot. Queen attacked. Black to play. Black to play. Plays knight g3 in this variation. There's nothing for white to do. It's incredible. There's the threat of rook h1 checkmate. If we try, say, bishop takes f7, king f8, the checks will run out. Knight g6 check, king takes f7. Even here, even if white wins the rook, it's just replaced with the queen, threatening queen h1. It doesn't matter about this check here. King g6, then the checks have run out. There's no check on either of these squares. The checks have run out. Queen h1 threatened. Yeah. On d takes e4, queen takes g5, winning for black. The queen's switching over to the h file, for example, g3, queen h6. f3, queen h2. Fishing pole, killer weapon. What does white do here? Say here, actually, let's check this out. E takes d5, because it looks as though, you know, the discovered checks. It's a case where you can get away with it. It seems queen h5. what discovered check helps white here. It's not much. Check here. I think, can we even play this? Yeah, but best is probably this. And it's just nothing for white to do. So I thought this was a beautiful little resource, knight e4. It's like we've seen this pattern before in some variations, but it shows how dramatically powerful the fishing pole is, just activating this rook. It can lead to really, really crushing combinations. I hope you enjoyed this. Comments, questions, likes, shares appreciated. Thanks very much.